There are two things. Hey guys, this is Patience. This is May the 3rd. Um, oh my God, God has really been dealing with me on some things, and I just want to share those things with you because I don't think that I'm in the only one who have this struggle. But I hope this message helps someone who's listening. Um, I hope it helps you get through a difficult time in your life as it did mine. And every day, I mean, I came home from the funeral from the weekend. Oh my gosh! And I came home last night, and it was a very interesting weekend, to say the least. You know, there's always things that happen when they have funerals and things of that nature. However, um, God prepared me for this moment. He started preparing me 2 weeks ago. He started preparing me when my loved one left and flew back to Vegas. I didn't know what I was praying for. You know, sometimes you don't know what you're praying for, but you're praying for something because God has put prayer or praise in your heart, and you just don't know what you're praying for. You just have to submit to it and do it. That's what I was doing. So, in my prayer moment, it's like I had to start praying for peace. Um, I don't know what I was praying for, whom or what circumstance. Um, but whatever it is, I'm trusting that God has already answered the prayer that I was praying. But the one my personal prayer in those 2 weeks was God give me peace. Because as you guys see, I was a mess. Um, even though I know his life was short, I was a mess because what I wanted was not what I got. I got a very loving man, um, and you know I look at it as God meant for me to experience that because I never had, and I have a gauge of what a real man looks like. But when I talk about I had to ask God for peace, if you're asking God for peace, God will give it to you. I the prayer that I prayed was, God, please give me the peace that I know only you can give. And I tell you what, when I woke up that morning, well, I probably said the Our Father 50 times. The Our Father seems to calm me all the time and calm me in my sleep. Um, when I said that, I woke up with so much peace, peace in the situation, peace to some disagreements that me and my loved one had. I was confident in knowing that God had granted us both peace and put us at peace with each other. So if you're watching and you're struggling with stress, you're struggling with death in your life, you contemplating suicide, um, are you struggling with something at work? Are you struggling with a family member? And I just as soon as you give it to God, it's okay. I mean, call out to Him. He hears you. He hears you no matter what you're doing in your life, what you're doing at the time. It's a guarantee that He hears you. My second lesson that I learned was calling out for God to be your vindicator. I don't know if that's a word, but I don't know where to find it. But um, when I say vindicator, I mean calling out to God to plead your case. When you have done all you can do and you know that what you've done has been right by a person, a thing, even at your job, sometimes it's a battle that you can't fight yourself. Because if someone is attacking you because you have done the right thing, you have done what God has called you to do, then there's nothing else for you to do. There's nothing for you to fight because you're not fighting a flesh. You are fighting with a spirit. You are fighting with a spirit. Oh my gosh. You are fighting with a spirit that dislikes your spirit, that dislikes your joy, that dislikes your demeanor, that dislikes that God lives in you. So when I say that, when you ask God to be your vindicator, or when you ask God to go up against people for you, because obviously they have the wrong idea of who you are, because they don't know who you are, because if they know whose you are, you wouldn't be having this discussion. Sometimes your sometimes your spirit is so strong that other people can't understand it, and they can't understand what people see in you, and or they just despise your spirit or despise your happiness. And that whole thing, God, you don't, that's when it's not up to you to fight. It's not up for you to fight. You pray for the person and you ask God to make an appeal on your behalf. It's an humbling thing, but you go to God sincerely and ask Him to make an appeal on your behalf and watch what happens. Things will turn around. Things will turn around for you, and you won't have to get out of character. You won't have to get out of alignment, because the person who saw you or disliked your spirit, they'll flee. They'll flee, and others who you thought were on board will come to your side. And then you know God is in control of the situation. So then you let go and let God. That's it. And today I was just thinking about a lot of things that God has really done for me. Because, God is awesome. He is amazing. When I go back over my life, and I was thinking, God, the only thing that's been consistent in my life is my papa. You know who my papa is. My papa is my dog. He has been consistent in my life in the past 4 years. But my life has been such a turnover. But God said, hold up. Papa has not been the only consistent one in your life. He said, I have. I have been there for you. He said, you remember when you were depressed and you couldn't, and you had panic attacks and you came through those? He said, I was there. He said, you remember when you wanted to commit suicide when you was 15 or 16? He said, I was there. He said, you remember when that dude held a gun to your head? He was there. So God is awesome. He has taken me out of situations, and all those situations have gotten me to where I was. From an abusive relationship to me being a lesbian, and all those things have gotten me to where I am today. And it has grown me spiritually in ways you cannot imagine. And just things that I'm beginning to get a little confident in my spiritual side, because I've never threw out stuff like, Lord, you go and be my vindicator, because I'm not going to fight this fight. And you leave it alone. So hope this helps someone today. And I hope you find the peace that only God can give because it's there. And if you need a vindicator and you've done all that you can do, you're not fighting a physical battle, it's spiritual. And the only way to fight spiritual is to use Him. Um, and that's it. Um, because one thing was when I was writing, I write in a not in a diary, but I do a journal. On the 22nd, it says, I prayed for peace this week, and today is Saturday. It seems as though everything that could happen has happened. Yes. Then when it came back, I make an account of what happened, and anyway, it just really brings me back to that whole saying, the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. And when I say you think about the Lord being your shepherd, the Lord is your shepherd. And He's going to protect you in all situations. So if you've been looking to Him, you don't have any problems. So anyway, that's my spiel for the day. I hope it helps someone out.